A timber shortage is driving up construction costs. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to talk about timber costs going up, and I know all of you in the game are probably hearing about this or familiar with it. Or if you're like me and about to start a construction project, are pretty damn annoyed about it. Just perfect timing, that's just my life. That's my life. So, timber shortages see New South Wales housing on brink of collapse. And this is from the Greek Herald. And, we'll look at a few things because this just isn't in New South Wales, guys. This is all around the country. So first, let's start by having a look at just the current lumber futures price. Now, I literally took this from Trading Economics moments ago. What's shocking here is look at the Chicago lumber futures jump past another milestone to trade above 1100 per thousand board feet. Okay, 1100 per thousand board feet. As supply is unable to meet rising demand from the renovation and home markets. Since last September, lumber prices have risen more than 180% as the stay-at-home lifestyle has encouraged homeowners to expand or remodel their existing dwellings. And low mortgage rates exacerbated the home building spree. This is not just in Australia, everyone. This is in the US. And, well, that's going to impact the cost of lumber here in Australia. So we can see here in September it shot up. Didn't quite break 1,000. Went back down in November last year. Climbed up, crashed down, and there you go. It's just going strong. Lumber futures over $1,100. $1,150, $750 this morning. US, guys. US. Let us know. We'll raise a shine if you made some money on it. So, what's causing this? Well, the US, it's a cultural shift. Everyone locked at home. Here, it's the same thing. And I'd say it's all just government to the rescue. Okay, we've got the government juicing the housing market like anything. It's what they do. See down here, you can see dwelling approvals. They've rocketed. I'm going to be quite watching this next month, so when last month's data comes out, to see how many people just tried to sneak in on the home builder just at the last minute. The cash rate is a joke, 0.1%. You've got home builder, as we're going to look at how many people are approving it. They're the big things that are really just, the market is getting overheated, guys. That's the problem. And there's only so much you can get. There's also, supply issues here in Australia, particularly for timber with the droughts and really the bushfires. Well, we can't forget super withdrawals too, because I bet you a lot of that super that's been withdrawn is going into lumber in one way or another. Now, here's the home builder applicants at the 12th of March, 2021. So just remember, each one of these is either a house or a renovation project that's going to increase the demand for resources. And that people are worried that home builder, the boost that you're getting, this free money that you're getting from the government is pretty much just going to be eaten up by increasing costs. Who could have predicted that? I wonder. Well, that's the problem. If you look at these things on a big scale and you understand the implications of these government interventions, then you're going to be the nasty bastard on YouTube going, guys, this is not a good thing in the long term. We're just going to pay for it anyway, one, in taxes, and two, your costs are going to go up. But people on the individual level, people say, oh, 25 grand, 15 grand. Yep, we got to go get it. We were looking at it, and we couldn't do it owner builder. That would have increased our costs, everyone, having a builder engaged rather than doing an owner builder. And that was enough for us to, no, we won't chase that money from the government. We're going to end up spending it anyway. It'll just make the project more expensive, and we want to do it on our time frame, not the government's time frame. So one might ask, has this been a success? You've got all these different projects. It's creating economic activity, but it's overheating the market. So it's increasing the costs of doing these projects, and the government will get it all back in GST anyway. That's the problem. So PCI has hit a record high, and I want to just draw your attention to this, to the input prices here. 12-month average is 72.9, and the index at March is at 92.9. So it's going up, everyone. We can see here the input prices in just construction has just rocketed up, everyone. Look at that. So we're not quite at expanding yet, but we're getting there. Look at that delta. That's crazy. And you have to remember, all of this government intervention, it's not free. You know, the government coming to the rescue, just remember how much national debt will be, federal and state combined, by 2024. And you got to, you know, your people will argue, oh, they'll just inflate it away, or MMT is magic. Yeah, but the problem is they need to tax the money out of you again. And what is money? It's tokens for work, one way or another. You either got to earn it passively, and that requires investment, building wealth to do that, or you've got to work. So just remember that. Taxes are work you have to do for the state. Okay, so don't think you can get out of it. One way or another, they'll get us. Now, shipping costs. Shipping costs have had an impact on this as well. Now, these are the shipping costs are rising. This is the from the FBX, the Freightos Baltic Index. We can see the global container index here is at 4,000. I'm going to change that pen. I'll change that to a pen. $4,233. It's gone up. You can see the chart going up right here, everyone. And I'll just drag up this. I mean, this here is just showing you. I wanted to demonstrate how interconnected we are as a world at the moment. But this is the index here. We can see just in October last year. Oh, well, now, when was it $1,000? You know, November 2019. And then and in November 2020, we're at 2,400. And, well, just in April this month, we're over 4,000, guys. This is the global container index. This is Pacific. So China to the west coast of America, it's gone from 1,500 2020 up to 5,190. Here's going back. Look at that. Going back from the west coast to China. You know, you're thinking, oh, it's only $800 because we've seen those other prices, but that's still a doubling of what it was in November 2020. Guys, you can't see that chart. And so this is shipping costs are going up all around everyone. They're going up around the whole world, even through to Australia here. So that's for construction material here in Australia. A big chunk of it is manufactured overseas. And if the costs are going up, shipping stuff around the world, the cost of importing goods, materials, building products is going up here in Australia. So let's have a look at the article discussing the New South Wales timber shortage to see how it's affecting New South Wales. So, timber shortage sees New South Wales housing industry on the brink of collapse. Because their projects, I've heard about this. People have been telling us that jobs have been just delayed, have been held up. You know, people aren't doing the work anymore because they can't get the materials, they can't get the timber. Thousands of jobs are at risk in New South Wales if the state's timber supply runs out as soon as April, as predicted by experts because of the bushfire and the pandemic. And it's not really the pandemic, guys. It's all the global trade issues that are exacerbating this. Some timber manufacturers are now calling for the resources to be freighted from interstate to New South Wales for processing, but said transportation costs meant the move wasn't viable without government subsidies. See, this is the thing. The government is overheating the market for the construction, and now look at this. They're calling for more government intervention or more support, which is taxes we're going to have to pay anyway, to make it cheaper to get the timber there. This is the the government caused the problem, and you expect them to be the solution. According to the Daily Telegraph, it's understood New South Wales considered subsidising long-haul transportation of timber, only for it to be deemed unviable due to the long-term supply challenges facing the industries. Yeah, this is the thing, guys. Prices need to rise. Projects need to be spread out. People asked me, what are the alternatives? I explained there are no alternatives. John Kleinschmidtum, CEO of Hein Timber, which runs one of New South Wales' largest timber mills at Tumburumba, told the Daily Telegraph. I butchered that. I'm terrible with these indigenous names. This sawmill needs logs to keep people in jobs and maintain the supply of Australian-grown and manufactured timber for our construction sector. The high demand for homes driven by the federal government's home builder incentives is the biggest factor in New South Wales' shortfall, according to the Australian Forest Products Association Deputy CEO Victor Volanti. And while worse is predicted, so they're predicting it to go even worse, the bite is already being felt at ground level by builders as they grapple with a shortage of supplies for residential construction. Laconia carpentry business owner John Theos of Castle Hill said his suppliers were already struggling to source enough timber and were often late. It's hard to get the lengths you want or the type of treated pine I normally use. Deliveries are often days late now too, Mr. Theos 55 told the Telegraph. I'm buying pallets of loose timber from my supplier just so we can make frames, and I'm shuffling my jobs around a lot because I can't complete them if I don't have the pine for it. So there you go. That's showing you just the impact of it on the New South Wales sector, guys. He's having to move his jobs around just to get the pine to build the housing. Now, it's not just in New South Wales. It's also in America. And that is going to have an impact on housing, on timber here in Australia too. Because sometimes it's cheap. You can make more money shipping it over to the US, selling it there, than here in Australia. This is the other side of our interconnected trade world. You know, we've got trade shipping going all over the world here. All over the world, you know, we're all interconnected, so we can get all cheap goods manufactured in other parts of the world really efficiently. We can get, you know, all the nice TVs and things that we have. But, well, yeah, sometimes if something goes really up somewhere else in the world, it affects all of us. So thinking of a new wooden deck for spring, it may bust your budget. Softwood lumber prices are now 112% higher than they were a year ago and have jumped 10% in just the past week, according to Random Lengths. Low interest rates are playing into lumber prices, heating demand for housing and giving builders more incentive to increase production. I mean, there you go. The same thing, everyone. The cost of lumber is going through the roof, and that is hitting the housing industry on all fronts. For home builders, renovators, contractors, and DIYers, the cost of projects is now far higher than it was just a year ago and about to cross into historic territory. So is this the hyperinflation that we're starting to see, or a supply side issue? Softwood lumber prices now 112 higher than they were a year ago. Indeed, increased demand for single-family homes, much of it driven by the pandemic, has housing starts up 30% over the year. So building starts are up 30%, you know. But it's not just demand that is pushing prices so high. Supply is completely off the mark because both mill operators and lumber dealers misread the 2020 market. Since housing starts and remodeling were weak in 2019, they pulled back on production. The same expectation was that 2020 would be much the same. The pandemic hit and they got really, really scared. You saw construction curtailments across the board. Oh no, said Paul Junker, principal of Forest Economics Advisory. Then came the totally unexpected boom. Housing turned out to be one of the brightest spots in the economic recovery, with demand coming back swiftly. And we can see prices are skyrocketing here, guys. So it's happening in the US, and it's also happening in Australia. Now, I put a poll to all of you, to the viewers. We've got a lot of people in the construction game who watch the channel, and I asked, is anyone noticing changes in the cost of construction materials here in Australia? And I put it just up 2 days ago. Or probably not, I didn't even say Australia. Is anyone noticing changes in the cost of construction materials? So 89% said yes, prices are increasing. 9% said no, prices remain the same. And 3% said yes, prices are decreasing. So they've noticed the change and it's going down. Sorry, I don't put I haven't realized that you can't actually see these results unless you vote on it. So someone wants to see it. Normally you put a no vote on there, but that kind of throws out all the stats. So I will use these, and they'll appear in videos, guys. I think that makes it interesting. But let's have a look at some of the comments that people have left here. Okay, there we go. Look at that polished operation here at HeiseSays. So MTD said lumber was $300 per 1,000 boards this time last year. Now it's over $1,100. You can print money, but you can't print supply chain. So Ryan's going, in the future, add an option. Yep, okay, mate, I'll take that on board. Mix four-wheel drive touring. Not in construction materials, but did my groceries today, and all meat has gone up. Call snags have gone from $9 to $11. Mince has gone up too. So, well, mate, buy it in bulk. Okay, completely off topic. Buy it in bulk with we've been, because we're in the other house here, I've got to get one of the freezers down to my studio because this is the only place I'm running power from the power pole. We're not buying in bulk, and we've noticed it costs a lot more for your meat, you know. Anyway, prices of everything have been going up, QE to infinity. If you haven't already, you need to keep an eye on the futures market. All these basic commodities are hedged and traded. So random length lumber continuous contract went from 250 USD last year to 1100 currently. Lumber 4x in 12 months. Copper $2 last year, $4 currently. Corn 300 to 577. Soybeans 800 to 1460. Live cattle 84 to 123. On and on the list goes. All the base materials that we use to make stuff has done a moonshot over the last year, meaning all this stuff that gets made from them is going up, up, up. But don't worry, bros, because there's no inflation, nothing to see here. Yeah, it's all good, guys. Don't worry. There you go. What are some of the replies here? Governments have destroyed the price signal models by changing the demand by slowing down the supply chains. The Baltic Dry Index isn't showing the futures like it used to. Oh, why is that? Companies are using the pandemic as an excuse to slow supply, as well as keep prices high. They hold stock and wait to bundle other items in containers and courier lines so as to minimize shipping costs and make the customers wait, and throw the excuse to shut the customer up and stop them shopping elsewhere. Maybe. Yet clients still think that tradespeople are making all the money and don't realize the increasing costs. Yeah, that's it. On how dare tradies make a profit to make a living. It costs a lot, guys, in construction. You may not realize it. New Zealand broadcast the timber shortage, and a largest supplier said he wouldn't be filling New Zealand store orders. Now there's calls for government intervention, yet more of it. Yeah, the socialists think she can control the economy by moving price discovery signals. Yeah, I mean, you got to feel sorry for New Zealand. Just look at their house price growth compared to Australia. They're making us look good. I work in the supply of building materials. This is from Reese. Mainly timber. Some off-the-shelf items now have supply times of 2 to 3 months, causing some building projects to be put on hold. Will's saying the cost of everything is exploding. In the UK, we have the pound shop. Everything used to be a pound. A month ago, I bought a paintbrush £1. This month, the same brush is £3. Food is rising. And products are getting smaller with shrinkage. A box of screws used to be £1, now £3. Gone up £2 in a month. Rents are astronomical, £450 to £400, now £600 plus. Wow. I work in tiling. Been told that some suppliers are moving to New Zealand to make the materials and manufacturing cheaper. Work for a steel company. Mild steel and aluminium, LME, have increased 30% in 3 to 4 months, rolling average. Same in Poland, especially steel. I swear the Macca's patty is smaller too again. We broke our diet and we took the kids out for Macca's. Because, I mean, we're homeschooled, or distance ed homeschooling them, and we're on a carnivore diet mainly. You want at least to make sure they're not so weird they don't know what a bloody Big Mac is. At least that's the excuse I tell myself, guys. Because there are some of them out there that have never had like a Big Mac or a lolly or a candy bar. You know. Anyway, lumber is way too high, but companies who cut down the trees are not getting it. The middleman gouging. I voted no so I could see the results. Okay, so maybe that's what everyone who's voting no is doing. I assume it's because of demand. In the 2 streets, about 12 properties are built. Low interest rates. Yep. All the electrical prices have been creeping up. If you shop around, the various suppliers are able to do a deal. Everything's going up. Steak is up. Steel prices are going way up. And that's from RL. And I'm complaining about that because I've got a lot of steel to put in my house. Just go to Bunnings. Prices are up a lot. Perpetual grin. I went yesterday. The smell of sausages, very tempting. I mean, it's a Bunnings tradition. Going there getting a sausage, guys. And you got to eat it properly, not like Bill Shorten does. You know, he ate it sideways. That should have lost him the election forever now. You can't eat a bloody sausage properly. Just-in-time manufacturing, yep, cheese is up. So yes, it tends to be, everyone's saying, what do we got here? Steel prices are up. Paint has gone up at least 30%. Fielders has increased the cost of roof color bond steel by 16.5%. Have you noticed everything costs at least $2? Bunnings is running out of MGP10. Oh, fantastic. This is great. Even though most of my job is going to be steel, there still is some LVL that I need to get here and there, and that's going to increase in cost. That could be enough to delay my whole project. Isn't it awesome? So guys, yes, everyone is seeing construction costs going up. So what's the solution to this? Well, wait. Wait. Plan your projects accordingly. Try and source some alternatives. You know, the timber guys are going to say, there's no alternatives. You could probably get steel frame if you really had to. Find ways around it, you know. Don't call for government intervention, guys. No, don't call for more government intervention subsidies. They cause this problem. Okay, they cause the problem. They're not going to fix it. These prices are signals in the market that we need to have. Okay, they're creating opportunities. If people can find a way to make money in this, it could be the start of a business. This is what this is. This is what it's telling us. Okay? Don't remember this the next time someone says that home builder was great and saved the economy, because people will be saying that in 5 years time. Okay, just like everyone thinks Rob was a bloody genius for giving out the free money in the building education revolution, people are going to be saying home builder saved Australia during the Rona recession. ScoMo was a hero. They'll be lighting a candle to him with a picture there. No, it inflated the bloody market just like it always does every time. Remember that, guys. We can't forget it. Okay, if you're in the game, do the best you can. If you've got a project, don't take it out on the people you're working with. I mean, shop around, but bloody hell, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Maybe start milling your own timber, hey guys? Anyway, thank you all for watching. You'll find all the references to this video pinned in the comments below, and you'll find them all on the blog. I do that every time, unless I'm really lazy. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using affiliate links on Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.